Well, hello, YNR Daily Recap fans, Young and the Restless fans. Today's recap is from Tuesday, July the 12th, Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. Uh, Interesting Young and the Restless, not a lot of action, but a lot of interesting conversations. Nick decides, Sharon and Nick decide to tell Faith or have Nick tell Faith and Noah about his plans to go back to Newman. They're both stunned, shocked, because everybody knows how Nick feels about the corporate life. And this is going to be no different. I give Nick Newman 3 months soap opera land, 3 months, possibly 4 before he's done. He just can't, that's not the cloth that his personality is cut from. It's just not. But anyway, Noah's like, but what about New Hope? And he goes, it's going to be in good hands. And Noah's thinking, oh, I wonder who. Okay, cool. It's going to be in good hands. And he goes, I have every faith in you. And Noah's looking like, wait, me? He's like, me? He goes, oh, you know it inside and out. You have this down. You're good at it, getting good compliments regarding you. And Sharon says, oh, and Nick, you said you're going to talk to all the vendors and everything about Noah so that it's a smooth transition. And no one, because Noah actually had something he wanted to tell the family, but he let Nick go first. I don't know what Noah was going to say, but no one really was reading Noah's face. His face was like, this is not what I want to do by myself. I mean, in reality, Noah only went to New Hope because Nick asked him. This will give us a chance to do a father-son project together. Excuse me, and it's a worthwhile project, and you and I can work side by side. Okay, Noah did it. He happens to like the freedom. He likes working with his dad. They are doing good, but that doesn't mean that was ever his vision. Noah's an artist. Come on now. And he's a little Rolling Stone in reality. So Sharon, for her to be this psychologist, she sure didn't pick up on the fact that, my son didn't seem too overjoyed about the possibility of what, Nick just threw at him. So Noah says, oh, I have to go make a phone call. And of course, he calls Allie. And Allie is going to start at Jabot, her internship that afternoon, the very afternoon. And so she, of course, rushes to the park. She had a run-in with Diane earlier. Not really a run-in, but it made her feel uncomfortable. But I'm going to get to Diane later. So, of course, Allie says, but, is this your dream? Do you really want to do it? And Noah's really like, no, I only did it because, for one, I didn't know what I was going to do when I came back to town. For two, it gave me an opportunity to work with my dad on something good. But to have, to have it all hinge on him, no. So she's like, well, okay, then you have your answer. You have to figure out what you want to do. So he goes, yeah, now the whole thing is, how do I tell my father? And I'm watching this and listening to he and Allie talk, and I'm like, you tell your father the same way you're telling her, somebody you just met 4 months ago, if that. You don't have a problem telling Allie how you really feel. Tell your father how you really feel. Because she's like, from what I know about your father, he seems like a reasonable guy. And Noah's like, well, he is. And I'm thinking, yes, he is. And no one knows that more than Allie. So, tell your father, thanks, but no thanks. I no. And Nick, just like it took him days to make that decision, Noah should have been given the exact same opportunity. Because Nick didn't even factor in that Noah might not want to do it. He didn't even consider it, and he should have. Noah is a grown man. Okay, so I'm looking forward to Noah telling Nick how, his real true feelings on that. And Kyle runs into Phyllis at the park, and he's making very nice overtures. He even admitted that, yeah, he knows his mother, Diane, kind of overstepped when because Phyllis said, look, yeah, it's a truce, it's a peace, but in the future, any of your family gatherings, count me out, because I can only like deal with, put up with, pretend, and she didn't say pretend, but so much, And he goes, yeah, well, my mother, she was a little overzealous or whatever he said, about this, inviting you to join us in her, celebrating her, when it really was supposed to be celebrating Summer and Kyle. And oops, yes, they offered Diane a lower level position. That's how that was supposed to go. But she made it all about Diane. Okay. So then Cal kept talking, and he could see Phyllis was getting a little agitated, and he kept on, and that kind of got Phyllis talking. And boy, you don't want to get Phyllis talking, because now she's going to tell you how she really feels, and she did, but she didn't go all the way how she really feels, but she got too passionate in her voice, telling this woman is going to hurt you, you don't know her. And it's like, oh my goodness, this woman is his mother. There's that fine line with Kyle and Diane, because it's just like Phyllis even said in the beginning. See, first, Kyle was not defending Diane to anybody because he was still hurt, like, just finding out she was alive. But now, and Phyllis says, watch, she's going to make this you and I against the world scenario. She's going to work that into his head. She told Summer this. And then he's going to start to side with her and then become her defender and protector. And that's exactly what's happening. So here's the thing, since everybody knows this, everybody knows that's how Diane operates, especially those that have been around her. Don't play that game, period. They're not going to win with Kyle. That's why Jack did not make his true feelings known. He didn't. Okay. So Kyle ended up overstepping, talking about, well, you were playing games. Oh, because he said Diane's true self is going to come out. He goes, just like yours. And she's like, what are you talking about? Oh, how your true colors came out when you used my dad to put your relationship in my mom's face. And I thought, well, that was a little out of line, Kyle. And Phyllis definitely let him know that was out of line. And she's like, Jack shouldn't have told you. He goes, well, you told Summer, which she did. I mean, come on. They both should have told Summer and Kyle together. Period. Together. So we don't have, my dad said this to me, my mom said this. Please. But anyway, Kyle and Summer are just in the midst of this hurricane, and Summer is trying to keep the peace as best she can. And by the way, I really like this actress playing Summer. I really do. I like her personality. I like her maturity. I like her spunk. I like this Summer Newman. Now, I like the other Summer Newman too, but we kind of saw her for a number of years from that, late teen to early 20s. But this Summer is just a good Summer, a good match. And even a good match for Phyllis. The other Summer was not a good match for her mother. This one is. And I really like that. I would like to know your views on that. How do you feel about the new actress playing Summer Newman? But anyway, let me get back to the story or to what we're talking about. So Summer comes to the coffee house. Diane has gotten her cup of coffee, and she wants to pitch Her new ideas, publicity stunts. We're talking about a classy fashion house. But let's do some publicity stunts. That's interesting. Now, mind you, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Diane a lower level PR position? Who's the actual director of PR? That's the one that should be talking to Kyle and Summer. I don't get what's happening with Diane now, the whole PR department. What is that? Okay, so anyway, she says, well, no, look, I'm meeting someone here. So we'll have to talk later. And you know, in efforts of keeping the peace, I really think perhaps you can leave, you know. Oh, you meeting Phyllis? You know, automatically you meeting Phyllis. Now, mind you, Summer's Phyllis's daughter, but Diane will definitely put a dig in. Okay, she will. So she's like, no, I'm meeting my grandmother. She's like, psh, I ain't afraid of Nikki. You know, I, I don't have to, you know, to rush out of here because of Nikki. She goes, no, I don't want any problems. It's best that you go ahead and please just, I want peace. So Diane says, okay, I'll leave. Summer goes to the patio to get a table, and lo and behold, guess who bumps into each other on the way out the door? And Nikki just, I mean, I love the scenes with Nikki and Diane because Nikki, oh, she's all tensed up. Look, Nikki was ready, like, look, you ready to go down? You ready to fight again? We could fight right now. I mean, Nikki just, oh, she's like Phyllis, but Phyllis goes off of a deep end with her yelling. Nikki just goes straight for the attack in a little calmer manner. And why wouldn't she? Because look, if Diane's plan would have been successful all those years ago, Nikki just might still be in jail, right? See, nobody is thinking about the magnitude of what Diane did to all of them. They were all suspects. Look, if they couldn't get out of it, they would have definitely been in jail, definitely. Okay, so I completely understand Nikki, and go Nikki, you know, and the smart move was, no, Michael Baldwin, I'll get my own PI. I'm not going to work with you, which she did, got her own person to dig up dirt on Diane. So they have their little tit for tat, and Diane, you know, does her little digs in, says, oh, you look at the Summer, she's on the patio. She told me you would be coming. And Summer, oh, we're celebrating. They hired me at Marchetti. I'm going to be working with Kyle, my son, and Summer. And Nikki is like, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, she goes, well, you know what? I had high hopes for that company. I was proud of my granddaughter, but ooh, now that I know they've hired you, well, they've just doomed their company to failure. I mean, Nikki is Nikki. Okay, so Diane walks out. Nikki goes to the patio and proceeds to lay into Summer. After all this woman has done, how could you all hire? I mean, she just goes on and on and on. And Summer's like, look, it's our decision, you know, we've made it. Grandmother, can you please just try to get along? I will not get along with that woman. She's like, are you kidding me? You know, no, I'm not going to try to do anything. But what's so interesting to me is Summer and Kyle have both asked, what is it that my mother did aside from faking her own death, and not death, murder. She made it look like it was a murder. Faking her own murder. What did she do? And they're like, well, Jack's like, you know what? I don't want to get into it. Well, get into it. It should be all public knowledge, right, on the internet. You don't want to tell them, say, fine. You know what? But here's the story on it. Here's some documentation. That's what Phyllis should definitely do. Bring out documentation. But see, here's the problem. Phyllis has a very sketchy past too. Okay. And there's a lot that did go on with Diane, but so does Nick. There's a lot that went on with Diane, which is why she was so craftily able to frame them. But still, the damage was done by Diane. Let Summer and Kyle read it. This way they can understand why the people feel the way that they feel about her. Please, they're adults. They're making adult decisions, then let them know what that adult did. And if some of their own dirt comes out, then so be it. Yes, I sure did. I got down and dirty with her because that's what happens. So as Nikki and Summer are talking, Phyllis walks in. Because Kyle had just sent her through the roof, so she's coming to get some coffee. And she says, look, I see you two are having, some time, spending time together. I'm just going to go get my coffee and go. And Phyllis, Nikki's like, no. Come over, I need you to hear about this, what we're talking about. So Phyllis is kind of like, well, what? She goes, I'm saying Diane Jenkins needs to go. And Phyllis is like, And Summer's looking at her like, Mom, there's the truth, Mom. And Phyllis is like, okay. And Nikki says, and I'm on a mission to run her right out of town. And Phyllis is kind of like, really? Run around? Okay, so just in the sake of conversation. And Summer's looking like, don't you do it, Mom. She goes, and she reaches for Nikki's bag, kind of like, can we move this out? And Nikki said, no, let me move my bag. And Phyllis sits down, says, no, we're just talking, honey. Talking and looking at Summer. No, we're just talking. And what would this entail? Just for conversation's sake. And Nikki says, look, I'm getting ready to have somebody look into her past when she was in LA. I know she's done something illegal. And Phyllis is like, oh, you mean while she was dead? Oh, okay. And Summer's just like, oh my God. Like, no, you guys aren't. Wait, you're plotting in front of me. And she's like, Mom, you promised, you called a truce. And Nikki's like, wait, you called a what? You, Phyllis? You called a truce with that woman? And Phyllis was kind of like, oh my God, and Summer's like, she's doing it for me, grandmother. She's doing it. I'm her daughter. I'm married to Kyle. That is his mother. And she's like, Phyllis, you can't be serious about this truth. And Nikki just goes on Phyllis finally says, you know what? You're right. I'm done with the truce. And Summer's like, oh my goodness, no. And she goes, I can't do it. I can't pretend to look the other way with this woman. And she just goes, it was just, to me, I love that scene. They did a really good job with it. Nikki and Phyllis, but poor Summer, she's just sitting there now, defeated, like, oh my goodness, this is going to be bad, right? And of course, Phyllis, like I said, as she's talking, she gets loud, that woman, and she's there. And so, of course, who walks in the coffee house but Kyle? And as Phyllis is ending her little rant, Kyle is walking, to the patio through the coffee house doors, and he's just looking at them all. And Phyllis looks up at him, and Summer's like, oh. So tomorrow is going to be very interesting in how, well, not very interesting, it's actually, to me, predictable. Unfortunately, Kyle's gonna draw a line and Summer's gonna have to be on his side, which is something that she was really trying to prevent, because she is going to be on his side and she should be on his side. But my thing is this, she should also really look into what her mother-in-law is all about, because all of these little turmoils and all these little things are happening because of Diane and the effect she's having on people just after interacting with them. She's needling them and she's pushing the buttons, and people need to see that that is really what's, well, Kyle and really Summer, they need to see that that is what's really happening. So there was quite a bit of interesting dynamics going on today on The Young and the Restless, I think. I want to do quick, I had one comment from Kiki, and Kiki, she liked yesterday's review, so thank you very much, Kiki. I just love to just give my opinion, as everybody could tell, right? I love to talk about it. So please, I want to hear some comments. You know, what did you like about today's show? You know, what didn't you like about today's show? What's going on? What are your views? Please give a thumbs up to this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Ring the bell for notifications. And also, in the description box at the bottom, there is the link to the YouTube channel. Please copy it and send it to a friend so we can get more people in the YNR Daily Recap community. So I will be back tomorrow with the recap for Wednesday.